There we are, and we are at the home map of Clan Gaucho B. That is of course gonna be Team Islands exactly as they said, and the civilizations, as we are right now looking at Nilfred as the host of the room, are gonna be double Vikings and Mongols for NCs. Ha, that is fun. So they are definitely right now telling us that they will want to fight for the water. They will want to win the water, and then potentially land with the Mongols. But that could be proving quite dangerous, because their opponents from Gaucho are playing Vikings, Celts and Huns. Celts? That's fun. Okay, that's an interesting civilization right there. I'm liking that. So what's gonna be the plan by them? Well, that is definitely interesting, having the sense. But I have to say that this is definitely reminding me of the quarterfinals between Gaucho B and Black Forest, where Black Forest, basically they won the water. They won the water at one point, but unfortunately for them, Gaucho B were able to land, and won water meant absolutely totally nothing. Absolutely totally nothing. And quite soon after they basically won the water, they discovered the landing, and everything went completely through gutter after that. Even the water they lost back then. So I wouldn't really think that the idea right now by NCs is exactly the correct one against Gauchos. Let's see how they're gonna be able to actually execute. But so far, I'm really curious if Gauchos will be able to deal with this, and I'm really guessing, based on past experiences, they could be. It definitely could be. It's gonna be more or less all about the fact if Gaucho can land, and if they can land actually secretly, because if they can, then that is basically what it's all about, what these games are all about here on Team Island. So far we see plenty of fishies absolutely everywhere, so it doesn't seem that anybody should be having any kind of issue with placing the docks. And I would be expecting, especially from NCs, that they will be actually right now putting the docks right into the middle of the map, into choke point in here, and hoping that really they can control that and deny any kind of landing. But well, that's something that every team on Team Islands actually thinks, and it's not really exactly what happens all the time. Most definitely not. So of course there's not gonna be anything all that unusual on the map so far to be seen. Maybe you could be watching this kind of fun. Oh, that's plenty of hunt. That's like some kind of triple or at least quadruple hunt at one spot. I was kind of looking on the minimap and it seemed like it could be plenty of fishies, but apparently not. And there is only one spot I'm right now looking at that potentially could be quite hard for the dogs. Yeah, I kind of missed that when I was looking at the minimap on the first time, but if a dog was placed here, then there is like absolutely nothing. Just the first fishy is at the very bottom in there, whereas a few wolfies, and that's pretty much it. So this would be potentially a bit of a problem for Exoro, and it seems that he might be exactly aiming for that. Oh well, that might be kinda sucky. That might be kinda sucky, and oh, he seems to be aiming for the emptiness. Well, one deep fish, and that's it. That's literally it, one deep fish. Some short fish up the shoreline, of course, in there. But that's not exactly what he was hoping for. It's not gonna be screwing him up as far as kind of advance into feudal age, of course. But it's not definitely great if you want to continue some kind of good economy without placing the docks somewhere on the other side of the island. So he will definitely have to be careful about that. Second wolfie, but she already does have an escort, or rather escort. So she's gonna be quite fun in there, having Loom as well on top of her, and she is moving all the way down, so it's not gonna be that tragic, but still, this emptiness is gonna be definitely real. If you basically center on the dock, we see absolutely no fishies, just one short fish, that's it. And he might really be quite disappointed when he discovers the truth of the situation. In the meantime, of course, there is a dead villager. There was a dead villager, there was a skeleton. Yeah, he doesn't have room, so he lost a villager to Wolfie right now, Nilfred. And oh man, that could be costing you on a map like this in semifinals of RTS League. That is quite a costly mistake right there for him. Losing a villager this early into the game. You can see he's at 19 still, so he's kinda better than Sniper for some reason. It's kinda interesting. Did Sniper lose a villager as well? That's kinda strange, because there was definitely that villager from Nilfred. Huh. Blue is not advancing, so what actually went wrong for him? I'm not entirely certain. He was able to build the rock at the bottom. Maybe he lost it to Wolfie as well, but I'm not entirely certain. It doesn't seem so. So I'm just basically confused at this point why they're having such a difference in the villages. Right now they're at the same, but there still should be one deficit for Nilfred. So I'm kind of thinking that Blue player is not really playing all that efficiently. But let's see if it's gonna be mattering or not, because Sniper LB10 and of course right now Nilfred and Pingui are all advancing into feudal ages. Which definitely makes sense for Gauchos, because Pingu is gonna be the only Viking who is so far having the rocks on the backside. So basically they are playing right now safe, all of them. You can see even green in the pocket is at the backside, and we have already seen the sad predicament of Exoro with not having any kind of fishies in there. Whereas for the opponents, as we kinda expected, all three are gonna be building in the front and hoping to control the choke point, the waters in the middle, and that's gonna be enough to basically somehow close the game for them. Well, let's see if it's gonna be true or not, and I definitely will be curious if maybe they will attempt even some kind of fast landing with the Mongol. But it's not entirely certain, because you would probably have to fast castle into knights, kinda thinking that would be viable for the Mongol, and maybe even drop a castle. Which is kind of what I liked in the blind random game. It was the decider of the quarterfinals between Gaucho and BF, because in there, Gauchos didn't have the optimal civilizations. They were having Spanish for a water map. Not exactly great. Definitely hope that you can agree with that. But they were able to use it properly. They basically went standard fast castle like on any kind of other map, and dropped the castle on the enemy island. And from there on, yeah, it was fairly hard. Fairly hard to actually deal with anything that was coming from that point forward. Okay, so Wolfie that's gonna be Exoro putting a dock in the middle. So it seems they will want to land as fast as possible. Or is he just coming for the hunt? I'm not right now sure. They definitely look like hunters. Let's switch into Exoro. What is gonna be the plan? Wolfie apparently hungry. That's gonna be second. Oh, poor guy. 2 wolves on half that village. Yeah, well, he can kinda call it a day at this point. Poor guy. Not gonna be surviving at all. So that's gonna be 1-1 for that villager on both sides. But you also should be looking where already NCs are gonna be. With all the galleys, they're gonna be disrupting the economy of Exoro at this point. Well, his economy is kinda scrap anyway, with all the fishies being missing more or less for him. But, well, of course, on the left side, it's gonna be all up to yellow player, who is not really that aggressive yet, because he advanced kinda a bit later than his opponents. Just a few seconds, but still, it's later. On water battles, it's all about the galleys and the proper timing, as he's gonna be meeting with sniper 3 versus 2, so yeah, blue player will have to retreat from this position, as it's not exactly great. Oh, that was a hunt delete, right? It definitely seems that actually Nilfred deleted all of those hunts by the galley. Well, that's kinda sucky, because of course those villagers, they definitely seemed like coming exactly for that spot. That was unfortunate, but at the same time quite fortunate for NCs, and that is a significant advantage, as of course that is something that he didn't count with at all. Yep, just a confirmation that Nilfred is the one who hates the animals and is gonna be killing them on site. Well, quite nice little play, to be honest, though for him there is gonna be a silver line right now for Exoro, as he does have some extra backup that potentially could be working. Otherwise, though, quite full control. Quite full control of basically the whole shoreline by NCs. They are not really letting their opponents breathe at all, as Exoro is not fighting for the water, which was, to be honest, expected. As, of course, the Celt, you'll be expecting that he will be the one landing the opponents. As in the pocket, still the economy is going, and on the left, Pingu and Sniper seem to be having quite a good battle, at least so far. Not really any kind of issue for them. It seems actually quite nice going for the yellow player. But we mustn't forget that right now Mate and Exoro both advancing into castle ages. That's a good fast castle by both. This is kind of fun and maybe a bit unexpected. This is gonna be very nice scouting by Nilfred, and I'm really have to right now repeat yet again that this is gonna be all about if NCs can prevent the landing, because right now the double castle age is probably gonna be a pretty huge surprise for the opponents. Is green gathering stone or anything? No, he's gonna be probably landing with only horses. Plenty of gold being gathered. Definitely makes plenty of sense for him. And for the for the orange player, we are looking at least a bit of those. So that might be either for DC or some towers. I'm not entirely certain. Right now, it's not definitely for a castle, but also gathering plenty of gold. As he was denied the dock, of course, as Nilfred was paying enough attention in there, and it's gonna be kinda challenging for them to land. As at this point on the right, LB10 is gonna be controlling the waters quite fully. Yeah, basically just absolutely no chance. Maybe Mate. Maybe Mate could be, through his fast castle, quite efficient. Let's see if he's gonna be switching into water battle or not. Whereas on the left side, is definitely looking like that the way to land is gonna be coming through here, through Sniper. And if Pingui can somehow control Sniper and give an opening to his teammates, basically land, it might be working, but at the same time, I'm really looking at the base of NCs. And they are having basically buildings or at least fishing boats absolutely everywhere. So if they're gonna be paying enough attention, I don't exactly expect it's gonna be all that easy for Gauchos to land anywhere. Yeah, it might be really very hard to get somewhere, but to be honest, the same I thought when exactly the match that I'm still keeping to bring up between BF and Gaucho B. And Gaucho B still did sneak through. So let's see if it's gonna be the same case here, as he's dropping the rock. That's probably gonna be for a transport boat fairly soon. Let's have it clicked, as on the right there is an engagement that is pretty important as well. Because if potentially Mate could be somehow controlling LB10, it could be also opening the opportunity for landing on the right side. And yes, transport boat is already coming up from this dock. And they've recognized that the way into the enemy waters is gonna be through this left side. So it's gonna be up to Sniper to potentially stop the landing, which might be tricky. Especially considering that he's still in the fuel age, not advancing, but Pingui is gonna be advancing. So in about 2 minutes, there's gonna be opening for Gaucho B to land. Let's see, let's see if they're gonna be able to take it. Nilfred and LB10 also advancing into castles. That's gonna be the Mongol and the Viking, and are they preparing some landing right now? Because I'm kinda thinking they already could, yeah. They already are, exactly the Mongol. That's someone that should be doing that. And I'm expecting that maybe Nilfred could be switching into Sling, or is he not? Well, he's advancing into Castle Age, so probably not. So they probably don't want to underestimate anything and want to basically fight for the water as much as they can. As the landing is coming forward, that is gonna be working because this is friendly. That's gonna be full-on surprise. And is he gonna be castle drop-in? No, doesn't seem so. He shouldn't be having enough stone for that, but he's definitely gonna be having enough for archer range and stable. So there's gonna be Mongol with basically some archers, crossbowmen maybe, and of course a few knights. That's definitely gonna be working. As on the left side, we are right now moving forward, and the army is just not strong enough, and I'm not entirely understanding why Pingui is pushing just now. He doesn't have the numbers yet, so he is falling back. But he needs to wait for his advantage, of course, with the war galleys, and that is gonna be the opportunity for him. And oh, the sneak already happened. Wait for that. The sneak already happened. Okay, so that was a bit of a diversion. And they were using the opportunity quite well to actually lead the transport boat somewhere to safety. But there are so many houses. There is potentially opportunity here. But with the villager already being there, it's not gonna be that easy. And this is right now quite nice cooperation by Gauchos. Pingui is scouting the shoreline to see where he's gonna drop. And he's gonna be dropping now here. He's gonna be dropping now there. And unfortunately, he is gonna be scouted. This is red player. Or is he? Or is he? He's coming for a dock. Oh man, this is fun. This is so fun. He's coming with the villagers somewhere where he shouldn't. So maybe she's not even gonna be giving the information. But Orange, come on. Come on. You need to already drop. Because you are already landed. And you will need to defend as soon as possible. Because siege workshop are done. Against the horses are already in. And even though there might not be some kind of strong attack on this base, I'm thinking it might be a bit delayed. There still is gonna be huge opportunity to go, for example, into the pocket, or maybe just switch onto the left side. Wherever he wants to go, it's gonna be fine as the landing is through. And nobody from NC knows absolutely anything. So, Gauchos with their training on this their home map, they have been able to sneak there. They are gonna be establishing themselves exactly in this position, but question is if it's gonna be enough. He's having kinda limited space, he can place about 2 stables still there. Something like that. You can see he's not gonna be continuing, not believing that this is where the opponent could be landing. But unfortunately for them, it's exactly what's going on, as Yellow seems to be controlling the water at least for a bit. But he doesn't seem to be really set up for somehow winning it, as the numbers are still much better for Sniper. And basically the deal for Pingui is gonna be stay alive as long as possible and keep the opponents busy. As of course cavalry archers, as opposed to the crossbowmen that maybe I was expecting in there. It's gonna be horses with them. And that is quite a tough deal for Exoro, who should be concentrating basically on the full attack. But right now, you know, with the siege coming up, and basically the water not being in their power at all, it's always gonna be hard, but... is it actually fully in their power? Because Mate is having definitely good armada on the right, and it doesn't seem to be really countered by anything that the opponents could be having. Yeah, the numbers definitely don't add up. So this is a bit of a shame for Mate that he's not a bit more dangerous, and trying to basically establish himself there a bit more. Where are the villages already? Right now forward, they have already dropped a workshop. Are you kidding me? He's not seeing the workshop right now. He finally did discover. Here he discovered the barracks in there, but he probably hasn't noticed because the orange is very similar to either the road or any kind of other stuff, and the red. So it's probably gonna be quite a big problem for him. Because Sniper maybe sees. No, he right now at least knows about the army. But otherwise he has no idea. And with right now the bikemen already be in, they're gonna be of course denied. But oh well, Mangonel coming forward, trying to be a bit more annoying to the villagers. Let's see. Surprise! Surprise and run away. Okay, no TC for you. No gold for you, because you don't have other gold. Well, you potentially have at the bottom in there. So it could be really working, but this has to be a huge surprise right now for Sniper and for the whole NC team, because that was quite a professional landing by them. But Siege Workshop is up, so it seems that the defense might not be that hard as it could have seemed at the very start. But it seems like that actually Exoro is doing an excellent job. An excellent job of actually guarding his own base and even attacking at the same time. I'm gonna have to say that it's a bit lucky for NCs, because if he could spend all the resources that he's right now spending in defense of his base, he could be so much more dangerous in the attack. And it seems with the villagers already right now even repairing the Siege Workshop units, this could be really working quite well. Yep, not gonna be finished even the outpost in here. And let's see how this is gonna be working, because right now Mangonel against Mangonel. Micro, oh, yeah, he missed it. At least a bit, but still, the hit range was large enough, so he was able to actually get 1 for 1, but that is already a pretty significant victory for Sniper, because if you can delete those units, even at the cost of yours, that's always gonna be an advantage for your side. Okay, so Sniper having plenty of boats, but not really engaging correctly it seems. It really seems like that Pingu is having some kind of better micro or whatever, having the game in his hands quite a bit more than anybody else. As Mate is also switching into some kind of army to help his teammate defend, and it really seems like that this army is gonna be dying fairly soon. With even Town Center coming up from LB10 though, it might be delayed. So, interesting place in the game right about now. Green Mate, we have seen it a bit before, that he was definitely having the advantage against his opponents, Nilfred and LB10, but unfortunately for him, he didn't take it at all. Which is of course right now resulting into the fact that he's being pushed back, as Imperial H is coming for Nilford, that's gonna be the first in the game, and that will be an issue for the water especially, because he's the Viking and he will definitely want to own the waters overall. As Yellow is being pushed back, right now finally all the numbers of Sniper and even a bit of help by LB10 is gonna be enough to have him running, but of course he is also having plenty of units in the middle of the enemy island and hoping that he can kill even more villages than he already did. So yeah, that seems to be quite promising right now for the teal player. Otherwise, the landing on the other side of the map seems to be kinda losing breath, as the villages are moving into the pocket though. Okay, so that's a bit different, because this is actually whom? Yeah, I was kinda for a moment thinking if it's actually Nilfred, but no. He has been dropped. He has been dropped a Siege Workshop in his face. Basically the same as LB10 did to Exoro himself. So yeah, it seems like that actually orange player is learning as he's playing in here. And this is definitely a great idea, because right now we see that his opponent on the left side is already quite nicely prepared. This is nice raiding on the economy. Very well done. Even gonna be trying to deny at least the stone gathering, maybe he should. But the economy is getting pummeled in there, and so is of course for the Imperial Age advance in Nilfred, as Pingu is also coming into Imperial Age on his left side at the bottom, and it seems that the game is basically anybody's guess so far still. As Nilfred is right now being pushed back, the economy seems to be still going strong for Mate, and he is able to come back in there. But yet again, the Imperial Age is gonna be what's probably gonna be deciding the game, who's getting it faster and who's gonna be in a bit more numbers in there. But let's look here. Economy is gonna be lost for the teal player, as we're gonna be moving yet again here. Plenty of actually plenty of siege coming forward, gonna be trying to deny even the houses. And is that a problem for Nilfred? Not really. 135, 109 right about now, so it's kinda okay. It's kinda okay for him, but what could be a problem is for Pingui the houses. You can see 109 out of 115, so he should be definitely paying attention to everything that is happening inside his island and his economy and such. Looking at the economies themselves, like now amount of villages, what is it, 64 for Nilford, 71 LB10, and Sniper is at 53, and the opponents are at about 70 something for Mate, 67 for actually Exoro, and Pingu is 65. So you can see the economies are actually slightly better for Gauchos. So this game is far from over, definitely far from over, and this is just confirming what I said. at the very start that Gauchos, even though you might be thinking there is like a 200 points of difference between the ratings of the players and overall the teams, you definitely wouldn't have said that if you have seen the right now the progress of this game. Gaucho B, they know their home map and they know what to do and how to react to certain situations, and they definitely know how to land secretly, and they definitely did. Yeah, seems like the actual problem is coming. Yeah, well, this boat is apparently beached. Not gonna be coming anywhere, but the numbers from snipers' boats are getting larger. But of course, with the galleons coming forward and snipers still not advancing and not anywhere close, you can see, looking at the resources, it might really be getting quite tricky for him to fight prolongedly against his opponent on the left. So 2 mangonels dead for blue, 2 mangonels dead for orange, so that was 2 for 2. Which is a good trade at this point for Exoro, because he was having extras. He didn't really mind at all. Much more importantly though, those 2 villages are still very much alive, and I'm kinda thinking they could be already building a bit more than just a home for themselves, rather a TC or some kind of even castle to hide themselves in, as the landing on the island at the bottom is kinda still going on. You can see the TCs following, and Teal is definitely continuing as much as he can with raiding, but with all the horses being ready by mate, he seems to be really controlling the situation quite alright, and it's gonna be very hard for LB10 to do anything too significant or game changing. But maybe with the monks it could be changing, because of course it's gonna be probably forcing a bit of a response by the opponents, and definitely this castle, which is a very good idea, and especially as a Mongol, we could be kinda expecting what's gonna come. And sniper coinage, okay, so we're gonna be heading into sling from sniper. That's interesting, and to be honest at this stage, I think it's a bit of an all-in by NCs. He's gonna be slinging into LB10, fairly certain. Well, he doesn't have any other options why he would be slinging into Nilford. It just doesn't make any sense, Viking into Viking. Let's see if this is gonna be working, and maybe if it's gonna be too much of a surprise for Exoro and for his teammates to somehow handle. It really could be. It really could be, as there's a bit of an attempt at water fight at the very top. Karinen coming up for, of course, Pingui also. So, full-on Imperial Age battle between galleons, between 2 Vikings. Imperial Age coming for mate, though. Imperial Age coming for mate. For LB10, let's switch. Not really. Wow, LB10 is absolutely not going into Imperial Age. Which, of course, is why the sling is coming in, I'm thinking. Because they somehow need to move him there. With mate coming into Imperial Age as the Hun in here, the Paladins will be pretty real, with his economy already at 94 and having the water economy as well to support him. This is gonna be quite tricky for LB10 really to finish, even with the Mangurais, and yeah, he definitely needs all the support that he can get from his teammates, as of course in the middle, village is still very much alive, male and a woman, so they can probably continue the empire for them. But he, well, did kill one of the town centers in that was a TC here. But otherwise, it doesn't seem like there is a bit enough to basically push forward. And maybe he's switching to the left? Not really. He's being pushed back right now by Sniper. But he's basically just the presence still here, as Nilfred apparently doesn't care at all about this opponent and seems to be quite interested in just the TC next to gold. That's gonna be helping him us right now, exactly. And it's gonna be LV10 receiving plenty of resources from Sniper, and that's gonna be propelling him into the Imperial Age in some good timing. But question is if it's gonna be really fast enough, because right now, of course, we can see the town center being built by Exor, and much more importantly, the Imperial Age and the Cavaliers coming from 8. So the technological advantage is definitely gonna be coming for Gauchos. And what is also interesting to see is that basically this heavy fight on the land that is forced by LB10 on the Gauchos is meaning that mate is not really fighting on for the water all that much, just having a bit of a guard. And this is gonna be opening opportunity for Nilfred to basically conquer the water, and from that point forward kinda deny any kind of extra opportunities for landing. And as soon as this is not gonna be, this is gonna be dealt with, which it is, basically 2 villages dead. You can see them decomposing in there. This could be pretty much it for this attempt, and that will, from this point forward, be all about the landing on the other side of the map. Well, so far it seems to be kinda okay, at least for LB10. He did kill the villages, or rather kill the villages, well, also villages, but mainly the TC, and plenty of farms. That's quite costly, as the trebuchet is gonna be helping, of course, against all the buildings. LB10 finally clicking into Imperial Age, but it's still gonna be quite later than what mate is already doing, as on the left also has quite plenty of control going on by Pingui. As Pingui seems to be really absolutely everywhere right now, since Sniper gave up on the water, and they're hoping that actually Nilford is gonna be winning just by himself, but I wouldn't be too optimistic. Looking on the minimap, I'm looking a whole lot more yellow. I'm looking at a whole lot more yellow than red, and this might be just a bit of an overcalculation and miscalculation on NC's part, that since they thought that maybe winning here is gonna be enough for them, I'm not really certain, because of course right now Pingu is definitely owning the waters, and he seems to be having much better chance to win them in the long run. And I'm really thinking that Sniper might have to actually return back to the water, even basically stop this thing, because so far I don't exactly see how this could be working in the long run. Right now finally at least a bit of boats still by Sniper are ready. Right now Pingu should be a bit more careful as he's losing units quite needlessly, but he overall does have the numbers and should be able to control what is gonna be happening in the middle in there. In the meantime, of course, castle being lost by all the trebuchets and whatever, and some supporting army, of course, that is coming from the right side. And yeah, well, even the Imperial Age is probably not gonna be enough, especially with the castle coming up from Exoro as the cell. And as a cell, that's gonna be boat traders, which is not a bad choice, but maybe just a bit more importantly, a few, well, not really petards, I'm thinking. But he needs, of course, Imperial Age for the trebuchets, so I'm not entirely certain what the plan is for him. Exodo at... well, not really Imperial Age at all. He doesn't have anything left. Well, he still kinda does. He's still trying to be at least annoying with the barracks and with the siege workshop, of course, which kinda seems to be succeeding at this point. And well, of course, let's switch back to the bottom, because that's where most of the battle right now is happening. As another castle is attempted next to the shoreline, as those two are already gone. And that is actually quite costly at this point, because we mustn't forget what kind of map we are on, and that stone is definitely finite. Definitely finite, and if the Mongol is gonna be losing too many castles, he might have to buy it, and that's woefully inefficient. Woefully inefficient, and might be actually giving plenty of gold, or rather gold, through opponents, who at the same turn might be selling gold, or rather stone a bit later, and really helping them quite a bit with the economy. This seems to be basically handling the situation quite fine. Some siege rams, well, wannabe siege rams, of course, just normal veteran rams in the castle in here, are definitely doing their job, deleting all the buildings and whatever, and this landing seems to be really coming to a bit of an end right now for LB10. Imperial Age coming for Exoro finally, and Bracer and Galleon for Mate. So basically two water battles, or rather two water forces still present for Gauchos, so they are doing very well. Whereas the opponent switching into the sling, I'm really thinking it might not have been the bestest of idea. I really don't think so. Because right now, if this fails, which to be honest is very close to actually failing at this point, it's not failed yet, but it's on its way there. It's definitely on its way there. We are just basically waiting if Mate could be affording some paladins, which he apparently cannot at this point, because if he can, this would be kinda over. As Heavy Camel, Chemistry, Handguard, Bracer, everything Party and Tactics coming for LB10, all the upgrades, but he kinda needs to survive this point, which he might, or he might not, because he's down to basically two stables and a castle. It's not exactly enough, gonna be even losing the two relics in that. It was actually quite a nice catch that he was able to right now make in that. Trying to establish himself somewhere else, but is it gonna be working? Probably so, as apparently the trebuchet even missed there. And they are gone, and there's gonna be needed a whole lot more pushing here than so far what is actually Mate supporting. So he should be supported, I'm thinking, by the Celt, by some kind of pikeman or halberdiers. Once he gets into the Imperial Age, that's probably what's gonna happen. But already the damage to the landing has been done. All those buildings lost for the LB10. That's gonna be slowing him down quite significantly. Quite significantly indeed. And even if he can especially finish the castles in there, it's gonna be getting even way worse. Way worse indeed. Gonna be marketed at the bottom, thinking about a gold running out in there, as yellow is controlling the right side, kinda. Are we really seeing a trade cock? We really are. Okay, so mark this moment in history. We're seeing a trade cock in a competitive game, and it seems that it might be actually really serious. Let's see if there's another one. Right now I'm not certain, but I'm kinda thinking it might be a serious trade cock. Otherwise it may have been also a bit of a misclick. But she's definitely working in that, so it seems she's gonna be generating quite a lot of gold for his master. Rather for her master, as much as she can. And apparently, the last buildings that were present by Exero are gonna be destroyed even by a few berserkers, as the castle has been finished in the middle, trying to protect the trade route and overall the economies. So yeah, these buildings are not gonna be standing there for much longer, as these barracks have already been destroyed. So this situation seems to be basically contained on this island. What's gonna be happening on the left side? Quite a big, large battle in there. Plenty of galleons on both sides, which seems to be probably a bit of an advantage for yellow. Well, looking at all of this, oh yeah, that's definitely gonna be advantage for the yellow player in there. But he needs to be waiting for that still. But he does have drops in pretty good placement, and it's gonna be much closer to the battlefield, which is exactly why he's having such an upper hand against Nilfred on this battle. And Nilfred doesn't seem to be really having enough boat production at this point so far, but plenty of buildings are yet again up for the teal player, who is trying to basically control the situation as much as he can. But castles are up, and exactly what needed to happen is happening from the cell. And these are gonna be pikemen. Halberdiers maybe a bit later once he gets enough resources, and this should be resulting into this army being one of the last ones on this island. And then kinda slow or fast, probably even faster it seems like, clean up of the island, and we're gonna be in a very interesting moment, which could be basically heading into who owns the waters. And who owns the waters? So far, I'm really thinking it's Gaucho. I really think it's Gaucho, because Pingu is playing better, and we mustn't forget that Gauchos are still fighting basically 2 versus 1 right now. Not full 2 versus 1, because Mate is fighting on the land as well, but he hasn't given up on the water. He does have galleons, and I'm absolutely certain that the sling is basically backfiring for NCs. It definitely is, and right now NC should be probably stopping with it as soon as possible, so that they even have some kind of chance with the second Viking to join on the water battle, because without owning the waters, this game is not gonna be coming for them at all. So blast furnace for LB10, that's gonna be of course for maybe some hussars, or maybe just for the camels, who knows. Tracking for Jin chainmail armor for Exoro, so basically upgrading all the pikemen and halberdiers already. Makes plenty of sense, as he's getting rid of absolutely everything. So yeah, this landing is over. This landing for the teal player is more or less over. He's having just still a bit of army, but he also has to fight not only against Mate's cavaliers, but he also has to fight against all those boats by Pingui, and we're gonna be heading into a bit of an interesting interim on this map, where both basic landings failed, and we're gonna be seeing where the next attempt is gonna be coming forward, and if it's gonna be working. Right now, I'm really have to guess, as Nilfred is going for coinage, which is gonna be maybe helping with the trade itself, not really for the sling. Double sling into LB10, I kinda think that would be weird. I don't really like that idea all that much. You can see he's having plenty of resources, so really the problem is not there. I don't really think so. And what is also kinda interesting is that red Nilfred is basically popped on... simply he's popped. Now Pingu is also popped, but I'm kinda thinking that actually Pingu is having a bit more units on the water. So it seems that there is a bit more economy for Nilfred. You can see 102, Pingu is having 80. So that's basically the difference. And that's the reason why Pingu is actually winning. Because even though both are pretty much popped, Pingu is having about 10-20 more boats. And he's deleting villages, right? Or is he losing them? Do we see the teal somewhere? No, we don't. So he is really deleting them. He's deleting villages, maybe so that he has a bit more place. A bit more place for all of those trade cards that he definitely needs. You can see right now he has dropped himself to about 71. It's kind of interesting to see at this point, as there's a bit of engagement yet again. One for Pingui, and finally Sniper is gonna be coming into water, because that just needed to happen. And I'm at this point waiting with him coming into Imperial Age, is somebody is gonna be coming for Cannon Galleons, because that's the next step that needs to happen. And whoever has the Cannon Galleons first is probably gonna be having also a bit better chance to land faster. As Karinen is coming for LB10, and we're gonna be switching into full-on water battle. And it's gonna be a full-on water from both clans at this point, as Nilfred is coming from the right side, trying to kill the economy and also disrupt the trade. So yeah, this is gonna be another important point in this game coming forward. Elite longboat. Oh, really? An elite cannon galleon for Nilfred. Alright, so right now we're already talking business in there, as they are gonna be coming in. And of course, that really should be significant advantage, or if it wasn't for this though. If it wasn't for this, because right now I'm kind of thinking that Gauchos, they either are feeling the opportunity, or they are seeing that the situation is getting very problematic potentially. The castle by Viking gonna be attempted, and unfortunately, yet again, they don't have the cannon galleon, so they cannot stop this. Jaido coming up from Pingui to basically produce faster, if I remember correctly, right? And is this gonna be working? Well, the castle is probably gonna get finished. I don't exactly see how they could be stopping this with basically no army whatsoever. As Milford is also gonna be investing in castle, and this landing in that case is probably not gonna be that succeeding, I'm thinking. Yeah, halberdiers against berserkers, I don't see that. I don't see that really working at all. You know, the siege workshop coming up, and they probably should have landed with a castle. I'm really thinking that they should have. You can see that Teal is already having the, of course, the Bangura is ready from the castle on the right flank, and he's gonna be trying to deny his opponent as soon as possible. And I'm thinking they should be able to deny that without any kind of problem. So that was a very nice attempt right now by Gauchos, but they seem to be kinda ill prepared for exactly the defenses that their opponents were already having. And with the cannon galleons coming forward, and of course right now NC's fighting on the water, basically all of them, the situation could be quite significantly changing. Or maybe even not, because of course this is gonna be used by Gauchos to produce the docks in the middle and hope that they will be able to push their opponents yet again and land for the second time in here. Well, already third time overall, but second in basically right now, this point in the game. Okay, so what kind of upgrades are we coming up? Crop rotation, 2-man X for Pingui. Interesting to be coming for them at 55 minutes. Man, that's kind of fun. Iron casting for Exodol, plate mail armor. Yeah, that's basically improving the halberdiers. Crop rotation for sniper and dry dock. 2-man saw, okay, so basically all the upgrades coming just now. To full on in here, and well, landing is basically done. Yep, it's not gonna be going anywhere, and it's gonna be some kind of secondary attempt. I would really like for basically Exodo to attempt yet again to land from the left side. This is a very nice castle protecting the stone. It's gonna be very important, and with all the docks being built, you can see how many docks he's building. He's having like about 2,000 docks absolutely everywhere across the island, which is definitely nicely played. Oh well, he maybe cannot get out. Seems he cannot actually get out of there. Oh well, that sucks. That kinda sucks for him, but maybe he's not gonna mind all that much. But he needs to hurry up because of course the problem with Pingui is definitely getting larger, as Pingui is having plenty of boats everywhere and is gonna be apparently denied even Nilfred in the middle in here. So Mate is following up. You can see plenty of longboats even being made by Nilfred, which are an interesting unit, and if they are basically inside some kind of group of other galleons, they could be really working. You can see even transport boat coming up, plenty of them by Nilfred, and they are thinking that right now is gonna be the correct moment, and it should be scouted. There is enough army to actually deny that, so it's gonna be interesting to see who kinda makes the mistake first, because this is gonna be all about making a mistake, not noticing a landing or just making a damn good landing. Yeah, those guys definitely can die and be replaced by trade cars, because you are getting into quite late game on Team Islands. Plenty of army being ready, and is he already landing? Are they attempting to do so? I don't really think so. I don't really think so at this point, so let's switch into the middle. Where some green villagers apparently were hoping that maybe they can land, but they won't. They definitely won't, as yellow is taking care of the red player quite fine, and he's still also taking care of the blue player in here. Cannon Galleon finally coming for Pingui. So that is something that definitely needed to happen, as the castle could be destroyed, and it definitely should, because if he can get rid of 650 stone for his opponent, that will be quite a significant thing, as there is a bit of a sling still going on by LB10 into Sniper to basically help him with siege rams apparently, for a bit of soaking up of damage, I'm thinking, as there was another attempt right now by Exoro on the left, which yet again was scouted, wasn't really missed, and NCs are still keeping an eye absolutely everywhere across the map. So, they have, though, failed with the landing on the opponent island in the middle, so we're still gonna be looking where to land, and this is actually a very interesting blockade right now by Nilfred. I really like that, because it basically denies any kind of landing whatsoever. You just don't have anywhere to land, and that's why he's continuing with that. It's gonna be a basically wall on the water. Very nice thinking in there. And the power of longboats is exactly here. Yep, they are not really how bad, and they seem to be quite a significant issue right now for Pingui and for Mate as well, but to be honest, Mate is, well, not really sending any reinforcements in, and oh, so many idols. So many idols, come on. That hurts. That definitely should be coming into the battle, but unfortunately it isn't, as those longboats seem to be, even though they are damn expensive, they really seem to be really pulling their weight, and can see how fast they're sending those boats on the sea level right there. Okay, so that seems to be really quite a big problem right now for Gauchos, and NCs might have found a way to actually come forward, as there's gonna be another attempt at landing. by X0 maybe. Not entirely certain, but he's definitely aiming to keep this alive. But with all those siege rams soaking up so much damage in that, it's gonna be of course quite hard to even do anything about it, especially with all the galleons coming forward. Coming ever forward right now by sniper. Also looking, for example, with the economies at this stage, as there is still a battle going on in the middle with the longboats apparently winning. Still, 90, 112 and 88 for NCs, for the opponents 91, 129 and 61. That seems to be kinda okay. And basically X0 is still going for the land army, more or less, not really doing anything else all that much. Whereas Pingu is basically killing all his economy so that he can have as much, or rather as many boats as possible. And it kinda seems to be reasonably working, as this is gonna be a bit of a massacre. But it could be a massacre of Pingui, because the boats, they don't really seem to be having enough numbers for sniper. But all those Mangurais, that definitely is making for quite a bigger problem, especially with the soak up of the damage by the siege rams. So that was definitely engagement to break off. That wasn't really doing, or rather going all that well for Gauchos, as they are hoping to land yet again right now with trebuchets and some rams apparently, and longboats. That's a rare sight, very rare sight indeed, so enjoy that, as they are apparently kicking butt quite significantly in the middle as Chemistry is coming forward. And we're gonna be waiting also for the Calon Galleons finally to make some appearance from yellow, because he did research them. He did research them. So where exactly are they? Where are our Cannon Galleons? We want to see them. We want to kill the economy of the enemies. And of course, that same goes for Nilfred, because Nilfred also has them for quite a bit longer, but he doesn't seem to be really going for them. And here we go. That's gonna be switch. As X0 is gonna be fighting on the water finally as well. And apparently his unit of choice are gonna be fire ships against all the longboats. But it didn't seem like that he would be actually killing them all that much. Yeah, the problem for the longboats is, or rather for the opponents, that they are having, you can see 8 plus 9, or rather 8 plus 1 on the Pierce armor against basically the same, right? Or the same for Galleons, but the hit points are 165, 160 for the longbow, but the 3 arrows at once, that's just a huge difference right there. So that's why all those longbows are definitely right now working. Once you are having the economy, the efficiency on the economical stance is definitely for Galleons, which is why you basically don't see those longboats almost never. But right now they really seem to be working, but let's see for how long. Because yet again, the economical cost is definitely huge. And right now, finally, here we see a bit of an interesting landing onto Gauchos, because all those Mangurais, they're probably not gonna be all that denied, where is some kind of army. Have they already noticed? That's a question as well, because I don't exactly think they have noticed, that's first. And second, they don't really have the army yet. Yeah, right now, finally, some first cavaliers are coming to the left side, and kinda interesting that, of course, Mate wasn't able, in all this time, to actually upgrade into Paladins yet. Because if he could into the Paladins, he could be also producing them and transporting them onto the other side of the water. As here we go with plenty of Guardian and also plenty of goats by X0, or other boats by X0, who is trying to control Nilfred as well. So really we are in a situation of more or less 2 versus 3 on water, let's say, and then LB10 sometimes builds something on the water, but it's nothing all that major. As I was kind of looking, maybe there was landing, but no, it was just a map artifact right there. And we are still continuing here, as this has to be so expensive for Nilfred, so damn expensive. And even though the scores are kind of all weird, even though 3,000 more are right now coming for NCs, it seems that actually Gauchos are gonna be calling it a game. As right now with this raid-in, that seems to be the last straw, as on the water they seem to be really doing very well, but they lost right now the trade, and that was quite a small step, to be honest. But it seems to be really doing the job. You can see all those death trade cards. That's horrible. That's a horrible sight, but very good idea. Finally Mate coming for the Paladins, and he just couldn't get there. Well, that was a shame. Bit of a shame in there, and oh well, that was one hell of a game. You can see Exoro, 2000 gold, Penguin no gold, that's an issue. Mate, why? Okay, right now I don't understand what this is all about. Why did they resign? Right now I don't understand it at all, because he could have seen 5000 gold combined between Exoro and Pingui. Or rather, Exoro and Mate, which they could have sent to Pingui to continue production, even without the trade. So Yeah, they lost a lot of economy, but looking at mate right now, do you see the thousands of resources for mate? Do you see that for Exodo? I mean, like, why? I certainly don't see the GG here. I certainly don't see the GG because this could have been overcome. I really think that it could have. Well, that's interesting decision, but definitely very nice little play right now by NCs. And we're gonna be heading into the third game. This is a bit of a weird end, to be honest. I think it's a bit premature. That there could have been a bit of more fighting going on by Gauchos, but maybe they thought that it's not really gonna be working for them in the end. And it's really strange though, because the Paladins could have been game changers. Just basically land the Paladins on the other island and have the fun begin, which would be very similar to actually what was right now happening with the Bangudais. So, well, that's weird. Well, whatever our idea might be about the match, it is right now gonna be heading into the third game, which is gonna be home map for NCs. 2-0 is the stage and state for the match. The NCs are one game away from going into the grand finals and facing Gaucho A. Let's check the achievements right now. It's gonna be NCs having a huge score, especially Elbeaten and Ilford. Well, there was a slinging going on by Sniper, so also explains plenty. But I definitely like how Gaucho played this. And you could have just seen that even through the difference in score, about 200 difference at least between the players of Gaucho and NC, it played absolutely no role. Absolutely no role, and we had an hour plus game. Quite an equal one, with Gauchos basically having the same chance to win as the opponents were having. It was really well done. Really well done by the Argentinians. But of course, a whole lot better by NCs. In the end. Not the whole game, but in the end they did have the better plan, especially the longbows by Nelford. That was nice. That was very nice indeed. So, GG.